Welcome to Dig on America, where we speak truth to power.
All right. So with us today, we have our guest, now that we've gotten our internal bickering out of the way. Our guest today is an actor. He is a veteran. He is a fellow bald-headed bastard like Big Haas. And he is also the candidate who I am hoping will take down Kevin McCarthy in Bakersfield District 23.
Me too.
Yes, and he is Bruno Amato. What's happening,
guys.
Bruno?
Hey, everybody.
Hi. Hello.
Hey, it's a real pleasure to be with you three studs.
Is it
tonight.
really? Are you sure?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So
Time will tell. Time will tell.
Yeah. All right. First question for Bruno. How many degrees removed from Kevin Bacon are you?
I'm actually one.
Damn.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, because
so the race is over.
it's over. You know, the first film I ever worked on was with his wife, Kira Sedgwick. So there you go. That's 1 degree, right?
So that makes us second degree.
Yeah,
Oh,
we are. Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah,
we are now.
yeah, I never worked with Kevin. No.
Okay.
So second.
Okay. The wife is. I think the wife.
Yeah,
is
wife
close.
is your. Yeah, would be second.
Yeah, that's
So
second.
we're
So
third.
that puts us. We're now third. Yeah, I've gone from 6 to 3. All right.
Man.
Thank you, Bruno.
Yeah.
And then we're moving on up, moving on up.
One of the things that I want to do is I want to talk about your platform. So we'll get into some strategy against McCarthy later, and hopefully you and I will talk about this after, because this is something I've looked at. But as far as your platform goes, the first question actually comes from our chat room, from Irish Swede. Is this a rep that would understand that 70% of Americans want Medicare for all? Where do you stand on Medicare for all, sir?
Yeah, well, I'm for Medicare for all. The funny thing is like when not all people, but like some people will be like, "Hey, Bruno, I'm on Medicare, and it's not all that great. I got to pay, this out-of-pocket things for dental, hearing, vision, blah blah blah." So like the Medicare for all that I would advocate for is where there aren't any of these out-of-pocket bills for people. Like, in other words, like vision, hearing, all this, everything's covered. No co-pays, no, these high prescription costs. Like everything is just, that's the kind of Medicare for all I'm advocating. Like not just a replication of Medicare for what people have that are over 65. And I think an easy way to get that going is, it seems like now with Joe Biden in office and with Bernie Sanders, I think in his ear on some things, I like Bernie's idea of lowering Medicare from 65 to 60. I'm turning 60 this year, so I'd be like, if I knew when I turned 60 I'm eligible for Medicare. I mean, I have great insurance with the Screen Actors Guild, and I've been lucky for like the last 30 years. I was a union iron worker, and now I've been a working actor for the past 20 some years. So I have great health benefits, and even though they've started to go up in price, for my monthly costs, but to know that I turned 60, that I'd qualify for Medicare. I think that would be a great thing. But if I were to get in office, I would be someone that would advocate for Medicare for all. For sure. I mean, but like a better Medicare, like, where everything is paid for. And I think if we do that in increments, like let's start people that are, 65 now, and maybe when they turn, we lower it to the 60 age, and maybe a year or two later, we lower it to 55. And, I think if we go in increments, we could get there where it won't be like this big shock to the system, where all of a sudden, like, hey, like, how are we going to do this? So that's my idea on it.
So ultimately, would you think like something like a single payer healthcare system be more beneficial than the current system we have now? Or are you still keeping it like Medicare will lower that down, but like general socialized medicine, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, I mean that would be, I mean, the ultimate goal. I think. I just don't know if we could do it like overnight. I think to just do it in increments, where we slowly get there. I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to just have a vote where, especially where now it takes 60 votes to get anything done. So, I don't think it would happen overnight, but if the question is, am I for Medicare for all? Yeah, but like I'm for something better than Medicare.
We watched or at least I watched your campaign ad. You talked about, help us out, $5, $10. Where are you at with money in politics? PAC money, those sorts of things. Are you accepting PAC dollars? If so, from whom? And do you think money should be taken out of politics altogether?
Well, if money were taken out of politics, that would probably make it a lot easier for someone like me that has to run against a guy that has already raised like 25 million. And not that he's going to use that 25 million to go to use against me. I mean, but the thing that I don't like is that,
no, he needs to get his private. He needs his private jets.
Yeah. But I mean, he gets all this money, I guess, from being minority leader, whatever leader. And he spreads all this money out to like all these other Republicans and all these other states. So one of my goals is to, I got in this early, and I hope to, I've got billboards. Put billboards up. I've been trying to get the word out as much as I can. I want this guy to focus some of his money here, trying to defend his own record, because his record is garbage. He hasn't done anything for the people in the 23rd district. I mean, I'm sure unless you're like a very wealthy donor, or you own a couple huge farms or something, I'm sure like Kevin McCarthy does very well for you. But if you're just a regular Joe that lives in Kern County, Bakersfield, Tulare County, whatever, he hasn't done jack shit for you, nothing. But this thing isn't going to be an easy battle. It's going to be, I'm going to have to definitely reach out to a lot of people that maybe never voted before, young people, Latino people, the Latino community. There's some people that you're never going to change their minds. And even though I'm a veteran, I'm a working class guy. I mean, I've been working my entire life. I joined the Navy, I was 17. Even before I was joined the Navy, I was delivering papers. You name it, I did it, man. I did every blue collar job you could think of. So, you got this fancy guy that, travels down to Mar-a-Lago every couple of weeks, to get his orders from his old boss. He's been in politics his whole life. My family, like they're immigrants. They came from Italy. They worked their ass off their whole lives. My father was a tailor, and he was a tailor because he was wounded in World War II, so his legs were messed up. He had shrapnel in his legs his whole life. My mom worked in a factory. These people, like, I think the most my mom ever made was like $10 an hour. This is going back, but I mean, working class people, and that's why I was brought up. And I never had anything handed to me. This guy's been in politics his entire life, and what does this community have to show for it? Kern County unemployment rate 3 points higher than the rest of California. Homicides number one for 3 straight years. This would probably be year number 4, because just the other day they were saying that Kern County was averaging 1 murder per day. Where the fuck is Kevin McCarthy? Where is this guy?
Yeah, per capita per person.
Yeah. COVID vaccines. I think the other day we're at 49%. The rest of the country's at like 80. You think this guy is on TV telling people to save maybe save your life, save the life of your kid, go get vaccinated? Nothing. This guy doesn't give a jack. This guy, the environment, look at the environment here. There's in the water, There's chromium-6. Chromium-6 in Bakersfield is in the water, where it gives you a 30-time higher chance of getting cancer, liver cancer, kidney cancer, gallbladder. What has this guy done? I mean, I've only been here 3 years, but in those 3 years, I guarantee I've been on the ground in Bakersfield or in this county more than Kevin McCarthy has in the past 20. But what has this guy done for this district? I mean, what? He said he was going to build a new VA clinic 10 years ago.
Yep,
10 years ago.
Boom.
No, there's no new VA clinic. There's nothing. This guy, but you know what? If I had him right here next to me, he would tell all four of us, he would bullshit us left and right. No, you're wrong. But that's what this guy does for a living.
Yep, I agree 100%. I was going to bring up the VA clinic, so I'm glad you did that. It was one of his keystone things. And also, you brought up the chromium-6. Arvin, right next door to us, has arsenic in the soil. Right.
Yeah,
so, I don't see any mitigation efforts for that. He does do some stuff with water, but that's about where it ends. I mean, it's let me give you a little bit of some numbers here. Kevin McCarthy, and this is a little bit of hope for yourself or who we're pulling for you, I think. But, for the Democratic nominee in general, in 2006, McCarthy had 70.7% of the vote, was unopposed for the next 2 terms.
Yeah.
But then if you start looking at the tracking in 2012, he went up against a non-party candidate in Terry Phillips, and McCarthy won McCarthy won 73.2% of the vote.
Wow.
He went up a little bit against Raul Garcia in 2014 to 74.8%. But Raul Garcia had some personal issues. People didn't care for him all that much. 2016, however, it went to 69.2% against Wendy Reed.
Yeah.
Tatiana Mata, our friend, received 35.7% of the vote. So McCarthy went from 69 to 64. And then most recently, Kim Mangone McCarthy only won 62.1% of the vote. So the good news is that it's trending a little bit.
Yeah.
It's trending down.
I'm not sure what the police situation is in Bakersfield. Maybe you guys can illuminate me on some things. Do y'all have a rabid cop problem there? And if so, do you have any ideas for like things to help reform our criminally under punished bad police officers?
Well, my thing is, I think we just had a thing, Jason probably knows about this too, where the Attorney General of California came and made it so that I think Bakersfield Police Department had to do certain things now because of all these complaints of police brutality. I'm not one to say I want to defund the police. What I do think we should be doing is allocating money, maybe even money that would go to hiring more cops. I mean, more police isn't the answer. Like, to me, jobs, you give somebody a job, an opportunity to work, or like money for social programs, having kids having something to do, with their lives, instead of turning to crime, just like saying, hey, we're going to put more money and hire more cops. Like, that doesn't solve nothing. You're still going to have the same problems. Like, so to me, it's like you're going to have to do other things. And my whole thing is, my main thing running is, I'm a union guy. So like, jobs is everything to me. Getting people to work, good jobs with good benefits and good pensions, things like that. But it's sad because, with all that stuff that happened with George Floyd, I think we got to really see how sick some of these cops are. And just today, like, hearing about that kid I can't think of his name now, but
Elijah.
Elijah.
Elijah McClain.
Yeah, I mean, man, when I hear stories like that, I'm like, who hired these guys that like these thugs that this kid weighed like 140 pounds, this nice, sweet kid.
Yep.
Sick, man. So, we got to do better, like in hiring these guys. I don't know where, I don't know how it all works. When they go to hire policemen, like what kind of psychological tests they got to take. But, obviously something's not working because, there's a lot of sick cops out there. Yeah. And police unions, I'm a union guy, but one union I'm not 100% for is police unions, because they're I was an iron worker, and if we were doing something unsafe, that would hurt us or other workers, the union would, if we got fired for doing something like that, the union wouldn't take our back. The union would say, damn right, get this guy off the job. Cops work a different way. When bad cops do things, their unions still back them.
Right.
That's the difference between a police union and a friggin' labor union. So, yeah, I mean, we definitely got to reform police and change some things, but I'm not for defund the police. You're not going to see that on my any of my billboards.
That messaging sucks ass so badly, because a lot of what you spoke of is what is under the moniker, the umbrella of defund the police. It's a lot of reallocation of funds and changing things in certain ways so that they're more effective. They're not doing things that they maybe shouldn't be doing, like going out on a mental health call by themselves without a mental health professional with them to help possibly diffuse the situation, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know what it is about Democratic messaging. Their messaging department needs an overhaul.